This is a Hot Pie Media original.
Urban Cowboy is one of the worst movies that I can ever think of. It might have some of the worst acting and no doubt the worst Texas accents of anything I can think of. The accents in Urban Cowboy, the movie, they make Joel Osteen seem sincere. It's just, I've only seen it once. And maybe it's worth a bottle of Cabernet and just laughing at it. I don't know. Why is this coming to me in this moment? I'm not sure of that either, but hang on. Yikes. You know, Ted Cruz, I'm going to tell you what Ted Cruz wants you to think. Here's where my Urban Cowboy thought comes in. So the opening scene of Urban Cowboy is John Travolta in really skinny arms. I mean, like pencil arms. I mean, so John Travolta's driving along in his pickup truck, and he's, like Ted, he's dipping some Copenhagen. This is what I'm telling you Ted Cruz wants you to think. And somehow I think he's pulled it off. So Ted Cruz is Bud. I believe it was Bud and Missy. And then she was with the guy with the pizza face, having sex with a convict, and Bud got mad, and Missy and Bud had an argument, but in the end, they put their license plates back up in the window of the truck, Missy and Bud. So it's a shame because it's a good song by the Eagles. All right, so the opening scene, if we got it up the screen, he's driving along. So this is what I feel like Ted is driving to the refineries. Ted wants you to think he's got a T-shirt on like Bud and Missy. He's got some Copenhagen in, and he's heading to his job at the refinery. That's what Ted wants you to think. And so Bud, Ted, and Mrs. Ted, Missy, he's on his way there to the refinery to go to work because that's what Ted does, man. That dude has been in Houston. He's been in those boots and those jeans, and he's had Copenhagen in his mouth since he was 10 years old, and he's worked in those refineries, and his family grew up in those refineries. And you know what? That guy is blue-collar all the way, that Ted Cruz with some Copenhagen and Missy. That's what Ted somehow has pulled off. You know what Ted is not? He's not Bud. I'm pretty certain Ted doesn't go anywhere near those refineries, and if you put some Copenhagen in his mouth, he would throw up on your shoes in 10 seconds. Maybe some Skull, I don't know. What is it now? Do we still have Copenhagen with us? Do we? Imagine Ted. What if somebody said, you know what, Ted, I'll vote for you if you put some Copenhagen in your mouth right now. Put it in there, Ted. Ted wouldn't know where to put it. He'd have it in his ears, his nose, on his head. Ted, I want you to open a can of Skull right now and put it in your mouth, and I'll vote for you if you don't throw up. Ted wants everyone to think, and he's pulled it off, that he's Bud. Buddy. No, it was Bud. It was Bud, yeah. Bud and Missy, or Sissy. Was it Sissy? Remember the guy, the real meaning of the movie is the guy she's fooling around with and cheating on Bud wasn't even riding a real bull. It was a mechanical bull. Oh. How bad were the accents? How offensive.
Looks like you hit me.
I didn't hit you that hard. You don't know what hard is.
Just leave me alone.
Fine, forget it.
Fine, forget it.
That's fine with me.
Yeah.
If I care. Fine.
Oh, shit. She's still pissed off.
Ugh. Git. G-I-T. Get some Copenhagen. How cool would that be? Somebody on stage near Ted Cruz. You know, because Ted every now and then breaks out that Ranger belt, and in his mind, that's like him going to the refinery. How cool would it be? Just hold the can up there and say, here, Ted, have some. Right there. There you go, buddy. Yeah, just put it right there, Ted. and his head would be spinning in half a minute. You know, your first time you try it, you think it's like getting drunk and your head spins so you throw up. That'd be Ted. But I digress. So Ted thinks he's Bud, right? He's, he works in the refineries. His kids go to Texas City Middle School. That's where they are. Galena Park. Because they're not going to go to some woke private school, are they? No way, not Ted's kids. These are salt of the earth, Southeast Texas, refinery workers and kids. And they don't go to private schools. They go to public schools. We heard him accost that judge just the other day about the curriculum at her private school. Ted wouldn't do that. He's not going to go woke on you. Ted's the first person to trot out the term woke, wasn't he? John McClellan is the co-founder and creator of ATX Hot Sauce, now in all 50 states and several retail outlets as well. So what we're going to do today is we're going to let this social media rock star chef walk us through 4 different sauces, and then I'll taste, and we'll tell everyone why they should buy. You can give the science behind these, and then I'll make the simple recommendation. Go to atxhotsauce.com. All right,
I don't think anybody's heard the website.
Yeah, I know.
You, Jeff, but it is atxhotsauce.com.
I'll say
I got that one right.
45 times, atxhotsauce.com. So let's do it.
I brought 4 flavors here, and we're going to test your palate today. Okay. And I only brought 4 because I didn't think you could handle 5 or 6.
Yes,
probably a smart move. Yeah. And so the first one we're going to try here, it's called Beet Heat. And just like the name implies, it has beets in it. It's made with red Fresno peppers. Red Fresnos are red peppers that are they're hotter than a jalapeno and a little bit less than a serrano. So not super hot here, just a lot of really good flavor. So we're going to start with this one, and then we're going to move up the chain.
Okay. I've had the Beet Heat, but okay.
Yeah, we're going to try it though.
It goes well with a cab. All right, Jeff's savoring Beet Heat.
I'll even do it with you, so that should be all right. Now remember, it is hot sauce.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's hot sauce. Trust me, man.
Wait, is that one hot to you?
No. A little.
Yeah. The great thing with the fermentation process is you get a bunch of the flavor right up front. Yeah. And then the heat comes, but then it dissipates pretty quickly, especially with the red Fresnos. You know, this is not a very spicy one, but it is a very tasty one. Goes on great on sandwiches.
Beet Heat.
Beet Heat. B-E-E-T. Heat.
All right. Go to atxhotsauce.com.
That's right.
Not Ted Cruz. His kids are proud to be in Texas City. No. Nope. $34,000 a year for each kid. And she's 12. Turns out Ted's kids not only go to a private school, just like the one the potential Supreme Court justice is on the board of, and shockingly, with the exact same curriculum as the judge that he ridiculed just this past week. In fact, the statements of Ted's kids' school, not Texas City, shockingly, they're not at Texas City Junior High. No, not Galena Park either. I'm pretty certain they're not hanging out at those refineries, and I'm pretty certain Ted's not going there. And Ted's kids go to a private school that has the exact same curriculum as the one he just ripped, including inclusiveness. Good work. Does it matter? No. Are there people out there that are still going to buy his I'm Bud argument? I guess so. I wonder if anyone's going to care. I wonder if anyone would be affected by this. Here's a story today in the New York Times. Supreme Court confirmation hearing by Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Cruz said the curriculum of Georgetown Day School, an expensive private school in northwestern Washington where Judge Jackson is one of 23 members of the board, quote, is filled with critical race theory. Remember, Ted showed us the baby pictures, correct? Ted even talked about the curriculum of that particular school. I don't know why, except to say you're woke, right? That's this guy's whole position. He's positioning himself as Bud with some Copenhagen in and a bad T-shirt and skinny arms and no triceps whatsoever. And the worst acting job I've ever seen in my life. This was like John Travolta's height. I mean, this is like his pinnacle. I believe he went Saturday Night Fever, which was kind of dark and good. Did he go to Grease and then Urban Cowboy? What was him? There was like a 3-film run there. He went from Welcome Back, Kotter to Saturday Night Fever to, I think, Grease to then, I think, Urban Cowboy. And then the bottom fell out. Right? Then he dropped down to some horrific movies for a while. Then he did sequels to those movies and then came back with Pulp Fiction. It's an amazing career. But either way, it's the worst accent of all time. So Ted wants you to think he's Bud and he's going to Gillies and he's been at the refinery all day. And, of course, Ted's kids go to those schools, too. No, they don't. All right, so Ted is critical of the judges. I don't even know if her kids go to school there. She's on the board of Georgetown Day School. Well, somebody reported today that for $34,000 a year, his daughter's 12. I don't think it costs $34,000 a year to go to Texas City Junior High. It does to this school. Holy John's is an educational institution, and anti-racists and all kinds of racism inside and outside the school community we stand against, says the principal of the school. According to the community and inclusion statement from the school, which reads almost precisely like the one he's critical of in Washington. Precisely the same statements. According to the community and inclusion statement approved by the school board, of which his kids $34,000 a year for your 12-year-old. Got it? Now, does Ted have a right, or anybody else with a lot of money have a right to send their kids to a private school? Yes. But the point is, he just condemned a judge who's sitting on the board of a private school, and her statement of their inclusion statement reads exactly like his kid's school. What if somebody read it back? How would the crowd react to Ted then? The school guarantees, statement from the school, cultural intelligence and proficiency to all community members. The school incorporates cultural proficiency, diversity, global awareness, and inclusiveness in all aspects of our curriculum. That is almost precisely what the school board said of her school. They say the same things. It's the same stuff. It's the same woke, inclusive, diversity stuff. Is his kid's school very diverse? I don't know. Probably not. But they say it. There's more to it. I mean, they go into great detail to point out exactly how the statements from his kid's school, private school, not in Texas City, actually. No, not Galena Park, not New Caney, not even Katy. He's not even by the Typhoon Water Park out in Katy. No public school there. A very, very elite, inclusive CRT school, according to him. Huh. Now, how's he able to pull? I mean, think about that guy who's sending a kid, a 12-year-old, to a $34,000 a year school that has the exact same curriculum statements about cultural diversity and inclusiveness as the judge. How's he been able to sell the idea that he's Bud with Copenhagen in his mouth?
Thanks for listening. You can find more episodes and all of our other Hot Pie Media originals baked fresh daily at our home online at hotpiemedia.com, the Hot Pie Media YouTube channel, or wherever you listen to podcasts.